Thomas Jefferson said, "Agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, in the end, contribute to most of our real wealth."
That many black and brown folks have with the land is traumatic.
Oh, beautiful, our heroes proved in liberating.
Welcome to my documentary entitled Keeping Your Eyes on the Prize. Agricultural Exceptionalism, the Plight of Black and Brown Farm Workers and Farmers. Thomas Jefferson quoted talking about how important agriculture is, but was he referring to those of color? On this documentary, we will discuss the laws that affect, the laws that have made changes, and where are we? Does it still exist? The number of black farmers in America peaked in 1920, when there were 949,889. Today, of the country's 3.4 million total farmers, only 1.3%, or over 45,000, are black. According to the new figures based on the U.S. Department of Agriculture released this month, which was actually back in 2019. From the U.S. Department of Agriculture, that means that 0.52% of American farmland blacks owned, by comparison of 95% of U.S. farmers who are white. Now, black farmers have also managed to hold on to their total wages, or their annual wage of $40,000, compared to their white counterparts that make $190,000 a year. When Franklin D. Roosevelt took office in March 1933, the United States was in the midst of the Great Depression. Farmers faced the most severe economic situations and lowest agricultural prices since the 1890s. Overproduction and a shrinking international market had driven down agricultural prices. So Roosevelt called in a 100-day Congress, and what he did is he enacted the Agricultural Adjustment Administration to replace the Federal Farm Board. Roosevelt's administration worked hard to do this. He enacted the Agricultural Adjustment Act. The only caveat is Congress only passed it if it did not include farmers of color. Like I said, just a snippet. The labor law exclusion results in poor working conditions, low wage rates for farm workers who struggle to make ends meet. Farm worker wages are among the lowest in the country. Poverty among farm workers is roughly double than that of all wage and salary employees. Additionally, farm work consistently ranks as one of the most dangerous occupations. Yet only 31% of farm workers have health insurance. 31%. Has there been improvement in agricultural exceptionalism? Well, back in April 14th, 1999, Judge Paul Friedman of the U.S. District Court of Columbia approved a settlement agreement, a consent decree, and the Pigford versus Clickman class action discrimination suit between the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, and black farmers. 2010, H.R. 4783, to provide $1.15 billion appropriations by a unanimous consent on November 19, 2010. The Senate bill was then passed by the House on November 30th and signed by the President on December 8th. Then on October 27, 2011, the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia granted final approval of the settlement agreement. Under the terms of the court order, claims could be submitted beginning November 14, 2011, with a deadline of filing claims on May 11, 2012. Approximately 89,000 claim forms were mailed out. Nearly 4,000 of them ultimately were filed. Of those, approximately 34,000 were deemed complete and timely. A determination of the validity of the claims is expected to be completed in June of 2013, after which the claim administrator will begin distributing payments of successful claimants. Now, this all happened back in 2013. Where do we stand now with agricultural exceptionalism? We've gone through a journey with this documentary, starting with Thomas Jefferson on his quote on what agriculture is and how necessary it is for wealth. We've gone over the laws that have been in place for agriculture, the treatment of black and brown farmers and farm workers. We have come a long way since the New Deal in 1933. Where do we stand in agricultural exceptionalism in the United States? Has there been advancements? Are we waning? Currently, the 2023 Farm Bill debate continues to evolve in our nation's capital amidst a lot of political challenges. The Farm Bill is a massive, comprehensive piece of legislation covering everything from farm programs, conservation, rural development. Based upon my research, I do believe that agricultural exceptionalism still exists. I don't think it's as quite as extensive as it was in the past, but we still have a long way to go. And I think through legislation, the Congress, our president passing great, strong legislation, we can make a change. We must continue to keep our eyes on the prize. I hope you've enjoyed this documentary, and I leave you with some farmers outside the White House as of 2023.